Good morning. I'm going to be making some brewed coffee in a percolator, and I'd like to show you how to do it the right way so that you don't end up with grounds in your coffee, and that you get to enjoy percolator coffee. I used to have one of the basket percolators that you get at Walmart, or even the higher end things. They work where they boil the water and then it comes up and drips down into this big basket, and it's usually bowl shaped and broad. That's why those filters are, very flat on the bottom and then come up on the sides. The problem with that method is, if you'll notice the next time you make coffee that way, the last few minutes of brewing, the liquid that's coming out of that is just water. There's no brewed coffee there, and that's why it tastes not very good. I used to make it that way. It was drinkable, but I happened to have one of my mother's old percolators that she had given me a long time ago, and I tried it, and it was the best coffee I'd ever tasted. So I've been making that way ever since, and of course I've learned a lot of how to do that. So I've got the basket out. I've got about 7 cups of water. You want to use brew-right filters so that you don't end up with a lot of grounds. I mean, you can skip the filter if you want, but you'll have some grounds in your coffee, and then you end up having to filtering it again, or the ground. You have to be careful when you're pouring it. The grounds then can stay on the bottom if you're lucky. But I like to use filters. So this is a moistened brew-right filter with 4 holes in the corners, 1 in the center to fit over the spindle. All right. So now I'm gonna. And you can't do this with a dry filter because it doesn't give it the flexibility. The fact that it's moist allows you to place this where it needs to be. If you were trying to do this with a dry filter, it would be resisting, it wouldn't fold, it would be trying to fold instead of conforming to the shape of this basket. So I just take 4 fingers here and I push down, and the filter begins to slide in, and it goes right over that little post. And you want to be careful about keeping these little corners up here, so you sort of know where they are, and you can even this out if it didn't go even, and then push it to the wall, and maybe place a side that's high where there's a lot of slack. So now it's about even, but we're going to get this to settle anyway. This is a plastic straw that I've slit lengthwise, several of them, so that it's a perfect fit in this spindle. You'll see where it goes here, and it's snug. That keeps the coffee from going down the center when I pour it into the basket. Alright, so now I've already pre-measured this. I recommend you do this with a paper plate because it's just so easy to get it in there, and instead of trying to place a tiny little scoop and miss the target. So here we go. That just slides right in. Alright, you can see that's where it is now, but you need it to settle. Okay, so shake that a little bit, remove this, and then you start finding the 4 corners with the holes in them. All right, and you start to fold it over. I do the one first. So that's a little bit high, so you can do this. I'm going to go in and push the very tops of the coffee and get it to push down and settle. Okay. So now you can see I've got room to put the little hole where it belongs. Okay, so now put that hole down, and I like to do the opposite one. Instead of going in a circle, I do the opposite hole. Over this one, find that one, and place that on there. So that's what it starts to look like. In a lot of ways you're making a Keurig pod. This is the old-fashioned way. So then there's the 3rd one. You can see it's sealing up nicely. This is the 4th one. Okay. And I just push down lightly on that. You can see that's what you want. There's space here for the water to go and to brew. And now I'm going to do the same thing again as far as pushing this down. 4 fingers, and then push this down to get it to settle. So push the filter down, push it around the sides. You don't want to press it real hard. You're just gently pushing that in there. Okay, so now that is ready to go. And you place this is called the pump stem. You place this here and just look through this hole, and then you'll see the stem and it'll just slide right on. That's how you don't fumble around and not get it on. And now we're going to get our lid, which is over here. And place that on there. And move the camera to where it'll be powered up and making coffee, which is over there. And one of the reasons I like this pot is the show it puts on. This is a Proctor Silex from the 1970s. I like that little light effect, so that's how it looks. And this will be brewing here in a few minutes. I've got mine timed so that got it setting as medium in terms of strength, and that's where 7 cups shuts off in about 13 minutes, because you don't want it to boil. That's where the mistake is made. The water never boils when you're percolating coffee, because it takes about 13 minutes before it boils. All that time it's brewing, and it's brewing hot water, but it's not brewing boiling water. And that's one of the reasons the coffee tastes so good. I hope you enjoyed the video.